Jordi Sharif and Tom Garrett. For the Bradford Bulls then, John Keir makes 7 changes to the side. That beat Keighley 14 points to 12. There's no Brandon Pickersgill and there's no Matt Garside. They were in the 19-man squad, but they have faced the chop. So there's no Gibson, Oakes, Wilson, Magrin or Hodson as Lilywood, Kirk, Farrell, Webster, Evans and Hallis return. So it's Ethan Ryan at fullback, wing three-quarter line, Dalton Grant, Rhys Evans, Jake Webster and D. Fogging Johnston. The half-backs, Jordan Lilly and Rowan Milnes. The front row forwards, Liam Kirk, Matty Wilde and Steve Crossley. The back row forwards, Matty Staunton, Connor Farrell and at loose forward, Elliot Minchella. And on the interchange bench for John Keir's side this afternoon, it's Callum Bustin, Mikey Wood, George Flanagan and Sam Hallis. The referee comes from Warrington, it's John McMullen. He's out there in yellow. He looks towards the touch judges, raises his left arm. Here we go, time on at Odsall. Let's have some Sunday afternoon fun. It's the Betfred Championship round 9 game between Bradford and Dewsbury on Pulse 2, and it will be Luke Hooley who gets us underway, and it will be Rhys Evans who takes tackle number 1. We're up and running, Damien. Let's make quickly some big, bold Pulse 2 predictions.
I could see this being a tight game. I think the Bulls might just have a little bit too much for Dewsbury Rams. Looking at maybe a 26-18 sort of scoreline there with the Bulls getting away with it late in the second half.
My prediction is there will be no more than 14 points separating these two sides come the end. So we've pretty much gone for the same sort of thing. We're expecting a good, close, tight game this afternoon between the 7th place Bulls and the 9th place Rams. But as we said, only 2 points separate 4th place York and Halifax in 8th. And Bradford could find themselves in the top 5 come this afternoon. So Bradford, they're on the halfway line, on the last tackle. Lily's first touch of the ball, off the right boot. That goes high. Tester for Luke Hooley. Luke Hooley, the former Bradford Academy product, will take that. He's on loan from the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats in season 2019, and he will be brought down just 10 metres shy of the halfway line. And it's going to be a scurry out of dummy half, and it's going to be Sam Day attacking the Bradford Bulls defensive markers, and Wilde also in there. So too Liam Kirk in a 2-man tackle. Hooley now in at dummy half. It goes to Finn. Finn back, it's going to go towards Imbigdian. Imbigdian's going to be brought down just outside that 20-metre line as they shift it down this left-hand side. Finn getting a lot of work early doors. Back to Trout. Here it goes towards Imbigdian. Imbigdian probing. He's going to be brought down there by Farrell and Evans in a 2-man tackle. Last tackle, says John McMullen. It's going to be a kick from Finn, looking to put Ethan Ryan under pressure. Great take there from Ethan Ryan. Great positional play, and he will take the tackle 5 metres out from his own try line. So on Bradford Bulls Live on Pulse 2 this afternoon, it's the Bulls 0, the Rams 0 here. A high octane start to this one as it goes along the attacking line, as it goes from Lily to Webster. Webster out to D. Fogging Johnston. D. Fogging Johnston meets Rod Warrensey just outside his own 20-metre line, and that's the second tackle. Webster in at dummy half. It's going to go to Milnes. Milnes to Minchella. Minchella has Kirk outside him, puts his head down, tucks the ball under his right arm, and Minchella's wrapped up on the third tackle, 10 metres shy of halfway line, and he's going to win the first penalty of the afternoon. Is Elliot Minchella. Dewsbury penalised for laying on in the tackle.
Yeah, a very good start from both sides. Good completion set. Not the best ends to sets from the 2 kicks, but they're just working their way into the game there. First holding down at the ruck. We mentioned before the game that Dewsbury will try to slow the tempo down and play it their way in the centre of the ruck. That comes with consequences, and that was a laying down penalty there in favour of the Bulls. Webster now hitting it up 20 metres out the Dewsbury left edge.
First tackle gone. Bradford on this left-hand side in front of the main stand. Wilde, Milnes back down the middle with Liam Kirk. Kirk, his first try in 2 years was scored in that away win against Batley. Back it goes towards Wilde to Lily. Lily will be brought down 2 metres out from that Dewsbury line. We've had 3.5 minutes gone here on Pulse 2, and it's early pressure from the Bulls on that Dewsbury Rams line. Back it's going to go from Wilde to Milnes. Back down to Kirk. Kirk's 5 metres out in front of the post. Bradford played towards the South Bank stand in this first half. Milnes, sharp, crisp passing to Ryan, to Webster. Webster's on his knees, 2 metres out. Last tackle here, some last grasp defence there from Michael Knowles. It's going to go back to Mills, crossfield kick, looking for pressure. Dewsbury have made a hash of it. The Bulls have it on the right-hand edge to Grant. Back it's going to go to Farrell. Farrell kicks ahead. Has that come off a Dewsbury arm? No, it has. Yes, it has. He's whacked the tackle countdown. The Bulls might not need it because Rhys Evans is going to be brought down. 5 metres out on the zero tackle. Is it delaying the inevitable? Wildy fires it into Dalton Grant's right arm. He tucks it up and he's 2 metres out here. Incessant pressure from John Keir's side on this Dewsbury Lambs line. They're looking for the first points. Wildy, Lily in centre field. Direct and short from Kirk. 5 metres out in front of that Dewsbury Lambs try line. It's going to go once again from Wildy to Mills, out to Webster. Rob Warranty comes in from this main stand side as Webster now goes on a lateral run, sucks that defence in, fires it to Farrell. Farrell is brought down by Liam Finn. Farrell's got the ball out the back door, it's gone backwards, picked up by Lilly, and Bradford have lost a little bit of ground there. They're now 15 metres out, 2 tackles remaining. It goes to Wilder, to Evans. Evans is brought down by Kibula over on that right-hand edge. Last tackle coming up now for the Bulls. And this is great defence from the Rams. It goes back to Lilly on the last crossfield kick, looking for Ethan Ryan. The Bulls are going to pinch one. Staunton's lost the ball. It's gone backwards, but the referee will say it's been grounded by a Dewsbury Rams player first. So, Ethan Ryan and Matty Staunton going close. And Ethan Ryan, he suffered a bit of a head collision there, is it? No, it's not. It's Matty Staunton. And Matty Staunton just going to get a bit of attention. And the referee there, that was incredibly close, Damien. He's going to say a Dewsbury player grounded the ball. And in fact, it's not Staunton or Ryan, it's Liam Kirk who's just suffered a bit of a head knock there.
Desperate times there for Dewsbury. They did very well on their online defence, but a nice kick across field there from Jordan Lilly, which drew an error from Dewsbury, but they managed to clean it up very well and get it grounded in goal. The Bulls are pushing a little bit on that right edge, as we thought they might do before the game, working Dewsbury's left side over. Down working that side is Rhys Evans very nicely in the centres. Jake Webster, a lot of involvement on the left edge in the centres here early for the Bradford Bulls, as Dewsbury take the line drop out now.
This will be the 3rd set of 6 that Dewsbury have had to deal with, so some good early pressure from John Keir's side here this afternoon. 5.5 minutes gone on pulse 2. It's Bradford 0, Dewsbury 0. Wildy towards Minchella. Minchella's going to be brought down on the second tackle, 15 metres out, 5 to the left-hand side of the post. Wildy again into the arms of Milnes. Milnes to Webster. Webster's now towards the line. Webster, can he reach out and score? He's going to be denied what would have been his 3rd try of the season as Wildy fires it towards Milnes. Good movement between Milnes and Lilly. Out to Ryan, to Evans. Evans on that right-hand edge. And the referee will give Dewsbury their first penalty of the afternoon. Jordan Lilly adjudged to have gone behind the Bulls man, and that will be a huge let-off for Lee Greenwood and the Dewsbury Rams. It remains scoreless here on pulse 2. Bulls 0, Rams 0, and I think Rhys Evans is in a bit of discomfort on that far stand side, 2 metres out from the Dewsbury line.
A lot of immediate concern. Rhys Evans he had outside help from Grant. He chose to turn inside and go himself rather than risk the overlap. He's been tackled there a metre out, and immediate concern from Dalton Grant, and the trainers have come straight on, which is not a good sign generally. Let's hope it's just a knock there, and he's a little bit worried. For the Bulls, they've camped down there 3 sets to 1 now that they've had possession over Dewsbury Rams. Wildy doing a very good job at dummy half, just settling the play and directing Jordan Lilly on the right-hand side, and obviously Rowan Milnes on the left-hand side. Milnes forming a combination there with Jake Webster, which we saw him put Jake through for a lovely try 2 games ago, and Lilly working the right side of the ruck very nicely. Good signs there. Ethan Ryan chiming in from full-back when need be. Good to see now Rhys Evans. He's got up. He is going to leave the field there, which is not the best sign, but he is walking off unassisted. So there's good news there. Sam Hallis coming on in replacement for Rhys Evans. He's going to push into the back row and probably just move Staunton, I would have thought, Mick, out to the right edge in the centres.
Well, John Keir saying pre-match, we haven't moaned or groaned, we've just got on with it. And certainly the Bulls sailing through that sea of adversity and slowly but surely getting back to some consistency with the side. It's 0-0 here. Hallis on for Evans, who's just going down the tunnel. And Dewsbury now just going to try and ask questions of the Bradford Bulls, as once again it goes out of dummy half from Sam Day. They're going to move it on this right-hand edge, and Day in at dummy half to pick the ball up from Chris Anakin, who's on loan from Wakefield. Sam Day turned uncomfortable in the tackle. The referee's going to stop the clock now because Sam Day's down, and on will come the Dewsbury Rams physio. So the game yet to really get going, just shy of 7 minutes gone. And interestingly, Damien, John Keir mentioning that where the side have to improve on the weekly basis is about not conceding those early points. And when you look at this season to date and the Bulls' slow starts, they conceded first against Featherstone, against York, against Toulouse, against Widnes and against Lee. In 3 of those games, after conceding first, they've gone on to lose. So, interestingly, twice when they've scored first away on the travels, they've actually picked up the points. But certainly, you don't want to be giving any side, not least the Dewsbury Rams, any early points.
Crunch time here. I mean, the Bulls have had 4 sets to 1 now. Most of that's been camped in attack down the Dewsbury Rams end. Dewsbury now playing the ball 45 metres out here. They're working the Bulls over from dummy half as they're going, very tight in. Although you say they haven't conceded early on, the Bulls have had a lot of possession but have yet to fail to put the points on. That's a bad sign if Dewsbury come out and get a repeat set now, as it looks like they might, or get the points. In fact, I think you'll find that it's a penalty being given now to Dewsbury Rams. They'll get a piggyback and they'll be playing the ball on attack into the Bulls' half. Big set in defence this for the Bulls. They have had the better of the first 10 minutes, but they haven't got any points to show of this. So crunch time in defence. Here come Dewsbury Rams.
Bradford have just conceded their 67th penalty of the season, their second this afternoon, and now Dewsbury are going to put some pressure on the Bradford Bulls defensive line. Just over 7 minutes gone here as it goes from to Anakin. Day to Anakin. Day goes behind Anakin, 5 metres out, just 5 metres to the left-hand side of the post. It's going to go back on this right-hand edge towards Knowles. Knowles to Walshaw. And Lucas Walshaw's brought down in a 3-man tackle. Crossley standing tall. He races back in that defensive line. Day goes probing. Short little pass towards Trout on this right edge. And Trout's brought down by Ryan. Referee looks on. That's 4th tackle gone here for the Rams. Day tries to pinch one from dummy half. He's held up. Great goal line defence from Rowan Milnes and Ethan Ryan. And also Manny Staunton putting his body on the line. And we'll go back to the 10 on the last tackle. Day's going to play it. 5 to the right-hand side of the post. Knowles to Finn. Finn towards Kibula. That was the last tackle. They've not put the kick in and they've lost the plot here, Dewsbury. A very flat, poor end to the set. Liam Finn's looking round and saying, why didn't we realise it was the last tackle? So Bradford will play the ball 10 metres out as it goes from Wilde towards Webster. Webster's brought down, the former Castleford and Hulkeston Rovers man. A lot of Super League experience now. What a godsend he's been for the Bulls. Lilly on that right-hand edge as they go towards Farrell. Farrell's now carried Bradford outside their own 20-metre line. The 25 shy of halfway. Second tackle gone here. 9 minutes gone at Odsal Stadium. It is Bradford 0, Dewsbury 0 on Pulse 2. Yet to see the first points. The game not really getting going yet with a couple of injuries. Jordan Lilly's looked for a 40-20. Wob Rawrency out of position. Wob Rawrencey's got to track the ball back, and the ball just took a bounce on the dry Odsal surface and speeded up towards the main stand touchline. So Rob Rawrency had to apply the afterburners and backtrack, and that's a great kick from Jordan Lilly early in the count. And they've turned the Dewsbury Rams around, and now the Dewsbury Rams are going to have to move the ball out from inside their own 20-metre line. Sam Dane at dummy half, and once again Dewsbury looking for options as it goes down this right edge towards Owen Trout. Trout's brought down 12 metres out from the halfway line. Bradford scrambling back, hunting in 2s and 3s as Manny Wilde comes up and makes a ball and all tackle. That draws around loud of applause from the main stand. It goes to Mbigdian. Mbigdian can't get past Kirk. Hallis goes for the legs, and that's the last tackle here for the Bradford Bulls as they defend the Rams as it goes back to Finn. Finn goes high, 10 metres out, it's coming down, and Ethan Ryan takes that, so safe hands so far from Ethan Ryan. 11 minutes gone, Damien, 0-0.
Yeah, 0-0. They're feeling each other out here. Very good completion rates. They're completing at 100% both sides. There are no errors. They're getting some piggyback penalties both sides. Interestingly, with Reece Evans going off, I've noticed there, Elliot Minchella has moved out to the centres there. Sam Hallis came off the bench and went into the lock forward position. So on that right side, Dalton Grant is the widest defender. With Elliot Minchella inside him, John Lilly's also defending on that right edge for the Bradford Bulls, along with Connor Farrell.
Well, the Bradford Bulls have come up with an error here, 30 metres out from their own line, so that's going to put a bit of pressure on the defensive line, and the referee just making sure Sam Hallis is okay, who's down in back play. The clock has stopped. The game really not going yet, Damien. 15 minutes gone, but we've only played 10 minutes in gameplay.
Danger signs, Mick, and this is the thing, it's 15 minutes into the game and it feels that the Bulls have been on top. They certainly have had the share of possession, they've had their field position as well. They feel quite comfortable, I think, and they look like they're dominating. The problem is it's 0-0 on the clock. Now they've just come up with the first error in the game from both sides, coming out off their own end on the 30-metre line. Dewsbury Rams are going to have the first full set here, coming off the 40-metre line to attack the Bulls. Danger signs here, because when you dominate games, you've got to come up with points when you're down the end. That hasn't happened yet from the Bulls, so really big set in defence this here, and we're coming up towards the 20-minute mark. First points will be very important in this game.
Sam Hallis is just going to swap his shirt. There's a bit of claret on it coming from the nose, so play is just temporarily halted up here. Referee John McMullen just making sure Sam Hallis is okay. Latest scores in the Betfred Championship, currently scoreless between Batley, Widnes, Lee, Barrow and York and Swinton, but there has been a couple of tries at Spotland. It is currently Rochdale 8, Halifax 4, so Rochdale, as we said, they'll be looking for a morale boosting win. Just one win so far this season. A win today could potentially take them out of the bottom two. So from that scrum, 30 out from the Bradford line, it's going to go from Day to Imbigdian. Imbigdian's brought down 10 metres out, and Bradford backtracking now and defending on their own goal line. It's going to go towards Finn. Finn once again back to Trout. Trout's brought down 5 metres out underneath the post, and Dewsbury in good field position here, looking for first points. 12 minutes gone at Odsell. It goes to Finn. Finn tries to speed past Crossley, can't get the ball down, push back in the field of play, quick play the ball as it goes towards Trout. It's Sam Day to Trout, and it's a try underneath the post from Kyle Trout, and Dewsbury have opened the scoring. They've broken the deadlock. It's Bradford Bulls 0, Dewsbury Rams 4.
How often do we say it, Mick? The game was in its settling period. Both sides completed very, very well. 100% completion rates. Both had about 5 sets each. Now the Bulls had 1 set furthermore, 5-4. The first possession on the piggyback, the first error coming out of the own end in handling was a Bulls error in the ruck on the 30-metre line. Dewsbury Rams come in, they get possession. They play it towards the line, some solid on-goal defence to the edges by the Bulls, but, and it's not the first time this year, opened up by a very direct run. Trout's done a great run in under the sticks, and he's come up with a try. Finn worked them around very nicely there as a half, around the line. He nearly went over himself, was held up. Very disappointing for the Bulls there. They would have felt they've had their fair share of possession, fair share of this game, but as we said, Dewsbury are a proper championship club. As soon as they got a sniff, 1 error, points on the board, it's right in front, it's going to be 6-0.
Well, the Pulse 2 kick predictor says Liam Finn has a 98% chance of striking this one from slap bang 10 metres in front between the posts and over the red, amber and black dot, which he does with the right boot. Liam Finn, a post-season signing from Newcastle Thunder, his second spell at the Dewsbury Rams. He played 4 seasons back in 2006 to 2009. He was 4 from 6 last week in that 32-6 win over West Hull, and Dewsbury Rams lead the Bradford Bulls here at Odsell Stadium on Pulse 2 by 6 points to 0. And in the last 10 meetings between these two sides, the Bulls have won 7, Dewsbury have won 3, although Dewsbury did win at Odsell in 2016, their first win here in nearly 59 years. The last time the two sides met was in the not the Super 8, the Championship Shield, and Joe Keys and Corey Aston was the halfback partnership for the Bulls that afternoon, and they beat Dewsbury by 16 points to 12. The last meeting here at Odsall was way back when it was Joe Keys and Jordan Lilly. Bradford 56, Dewsbury 18. They did meet in the Yorkshire Cup semi-final. That was settled by a 70th minute penalty goal from Rowan Milnes. 20 points to 18 here back in January. Here, the first weekend in April, and the Bulls are doing it tough. The trail 6-0, 14 minutes gone, and on the restart, Dewsbury 5 shy of halfway. Wobrorency. Day out of dummy half, attacking the markers. Fourth tackle gone. 10 metres inside the Bulls' half. It's going to go towards Michael Knowles, the former Sheffield Eagles man. He'll kick, looking to put Ethan Ryan under pressure. Ryan takes that from the clouds, tries some evasive qualities. He's wrapped up there by Knowles and Warrancy, and that's tackle number 1. Here goes Defogging Johnston on the second, 15 shy of halfway. Matty Wildian at dummy half appealing for a penalty. None forthcoming. Goes towards Grant. Grant 5 shy of halfway. Good quick hands towards Lilly. Lilly now back towards Farrell. Farrell to Milnes. Milnes to Staunton. They're loaded on this left-hand edge as it goes to Webster. Webster to Defogging Johnston. Johnston's brought down 12 metres out from the Dewsbury line. Webster's down in back play. Milnes in at dummy half. Spiral pass in front of the post towards Wilde to Lilly. The bounce of the ball's gone behind Minchella. Minchella picks it up. The Bulls have lost a bit of ground there, but Dewsbury have gone with a high tackle, and it's Liam Finn there on Elliot Minchella. Second penalty of the afternoon that Dewsbury have conceded. Penalty count, 2 penalties apiece. And it was Liam Finn just going above the shoulders of Elliot Minchella, and Jake Webster back on his feet gets the all clear from the Bradford Bulls physio Matt Duke. Here we go then. Bradford, a full set of 6 inside that Dewsbury Rams 20-metre line. We've had 15 and a half minutes gone here on Pulse 2 this afternoon. Mick Gledall, Damien Irving, your call team from Odsall. It'll go towards Crossley on tackle number 1. Quick play the ball. The Bulls certainly purring here as it goes out towards Lilly. And Lilly's pass looking for Minchella and Grant on that right-hand edge. It's got into touch. It's a third error of the afternoon. We knew there was going to be a little bit of rust between Milnes and Lilly on his first game back in 4 weeks. But that, a huge chance gone begging, because if Minchella or Grant take that, Damien, I suspect they've got a stroll in past Ryder and Morton.
They do. The issue there is that they like the right side. We talked about that earlier. The Bulls have gone there a couple of times. The big problem is it's not the right side they've been training with, is it? Because Reece Evans has gone off. Minchella has gone out there in the centres. And the last 2 plays out that side, one gone behind the ball runner, that second one going into touch, have just been a result of them not really having a good combination there. They haven't trained together. There's a bit of a stopgap measure in there. So we might have to see the Bulls coming back to the left side in future. Dewsbury working it out now off the 35.
It's a dry, warm, humid afternoon here at Odsall Stadium as Dewsbury getting out to Ryder on that far stand side. They're now 12 shy of halfway. Sam Dane at dummy half towards Liam Finn to Imbignian. Dan Imbignian's going to be brought down 8 metres out as Bradford's defence on rushes up, as once again Steve Crossley and Matty Wilde coming up with a huge hit there. The ball has come loose in the tackle. Scrum head and feed here to the Bradford Bulls, 5 metres inside the Dewsbury Rams line, and it is still Bradford 0, Dewsbury 6, and the Bulls, they're going to have a full set of 6 in enemy territory, Damien.
Yeah, I think they should take a leaf out of the Dewsbury Rams book here once they get that field position up. Really good performances early from Steve Crossley and Liam Kirk in the front row. But just when they come into the play, 20 metres out in the 10-metre attacking line, they're using the prop forwards, the Bulls, as a block play. They're looking to go flat and in behind them. I'd like to see them keep their body height up and have a crack for the post as Ethan Ryan makes a half break down the left side. Make a crack as Trout did. Back himself and try and get one of these big props going over under the sticks. I think the most direct route might be where these points come from the Bulls now.
Sean Nichols, Ling Longmore joining us, so too Max Marshall and Sue Dickinson. Bradford, 20 metres out in front of that Dewsbury line. Matty Storden will play the ball. It'll go from Wilde on that right edge towards Milnes. Milnes fancies his chances. He will attack Trout and Day, and he's brought down 10 metres out in front of the post. It goes now to Lilly. Lilly on that right edge to Michella, to Dalton Grant, and Dalton Grant will go in at the corner. The Bulls have their first points of the afternoon. John McMullen points to the floor, and it is Bradford Bulls 4, Dewsbury Rams 6, and that looked absolutely easy, Damien, from up here. Silky, smooth passing.
Oh, the hard work was done inside, Mick. It was done around the ruck area. Wilde found Jordan Lilly, who really created some space. He went nice at an angle, brought in the defenders, and then beautiful hands found him straight through Minchella as a stopgap centre, on the short side there. Drew's defender found Dalton Grant, who finished very nicely on the right edge. Points that have been coming for a little while for the Bulls there, and that'll just settle them a little bit. I think the key feature there has been that both of the points again this half have come off the back of errors and repeat sets. It's been a feature of the championship games this season. It's all down to handling. It's all down to not laying on the ruck too long. Dewsbury Rams are just treading a fine line between holding down too long in the ruck and giving away penalties like that one led to. But here we go. Kick being lined up now. What's the predictor say this one, Mick?
The Pulse 2 kick predictor says Jordan Lilly has a 71% chance. I know Jordan Lilly was asked by John Keir midweek to practice his goal kicking, which he's been doing at Stanningley, his local amateur club. So, Jordan Lilly from the right-hand side of the post. That one has just gone across the face. That's gone incredibly close, but it is a miss. And it remains here on Pulse 2 this afternoon. 20 minutes gone on the clock. But the Bulls have their first points of the afternoon. It is Bradford 4, Dewsbury 6, and a first try of the season for Dalton Grant.
He'll be very happy with that, Dalton. He's been working very hard to get back to full fitness. He's got his start today, and to get the first points on the board, well earned and well deserved. He'll grow into that. I must say, Grant and also Foggin Johnson and Ethan Ryan doing some fantastic work coming out of their own end, which has been a little bit of a feature of the success over the last few weeks for the Bulls.
Bradford moving the ball from outside their own 10 with Farrell. Wilde to Farrell. Farrell brought down 30 metres out. Connor Farrell has made 237 tackles so far this season. That's an average of 34 a game. What a player Connor Farrell has been for John Keir's side. The close season signing from Featherstone. They're going to move it lateral towards Matty Storden. Storden on this left-hand edge in front of the main stand side. Brought down there by Knowles and also Trout in a two-man tackle. Quick play the ball from Staunton. It goes towards Crossley. Crossley's wrapped up 5 metres inside the Dewsbury half. 10 to the left of centre field. Wilde kicks between the posts, and that has hit the dry track. That will turn Dewsbury around. They'll get the 7 tackle set, Damien, but the Bulls have already set their defensive stall up on the Dewsbury 30, so I'm not overly concerned with that tactic there, because it's just allowed the Bulls a little bit of a breather.
They got a good set after points, Mick. That's the main thing. Get your end of your set after you've scored points. Get a good kick away, and now they've set beautifully, as you suggested there, ready for this defensive effort now as the Dewsbury Rams come out off their 38-metre line.
Once again, it's going to go from Day towards Finn. They're going to come on this right-hand side, and it's Adam Ryder. Ryder's brought down, 5 shy of halfway, centre field position. Day misses out in Big D and goes himself, and he's just met the brick wall there of Liam Kirk and Steve Crossley. Sam Hallis also in there for good measure. Here goes in Big D. Thought about the hop of the skip and the jump, decides to attack Minchella and Farrell, and that's another tackle from Connor Farrell. He's already done about 15 already in this first half. Certainly a good workhorse for John Keir's side. It's Bradford 4, Dewsbury 6. Dewsbury on the last tackle, 30 metres out from the Bradford line. Finn, good kick pressure. Finn has to rush and hurry his kick. The ball's come backwards off a Dewsbury player, picked up by Lilly on that far stand side. And Jordan Lilly, welcome back to the Betfred Championship as Lilly averts the danger. Here goes Ethan Ryan on the second tackle. The Bulls faithful getting a little bit restless with the policing of the 10 metres as it goes from Wildy to Webster. Third tackle gone. Wildy's on the Bradford 40. Wildy now goes down the middle. Wildy's brought down in a last gasp tackle by Luke Hooley, and Hooley has to bring him down 35 metres out. It's going to go to Milnes. There's no one at home. Webster's chasing this one. Luckily Liam Finn had backtracked there. Someone's gone down in back play. It's Jake Webster, and Webster's holding his left arm there, Damien.
Yeah, really good set in attack that from Bradford Bulls. Some great play from Wildy, just catching on a quick play of the ball. Some lovely room up the ruck where I can see some doors opening for the longer the afternoon goes there for the Bulls. What a fantastic tackle from the fullback, though. It's got to be said from Hooley. One-on-one with Wildy, a try saver. Absolutely great tackle. Webster's just looking a little bit gingy here on the left edge. He got hurt a little bit earlier in the game. Looks like maybe an elbow or a shoulder issue he's got. But he's back in the line. He's talking to the physio now, and we'll keep an eye on that for you, Mick.
Dewsbury on the last tackle, 10 metres inside the Bradford half, so they go back to the halfway line. Michael Knowles with a high hanging kick towards D. Fogging Johnston, and D. Fogging Johnston has been taken out in the air by Owen Trout, and that will be Bradford's third penalty of the afternoon. So if you're just joining us here on Bradford Bulls Live on Pulse 2, it was Kyle Trout's try underneath the posts for the Dewsbury Rams that give the visitors the lead in the 13th minute. That was converted by Liam Finn in front, and then we saw an immediate reply from the Bradford Bulls after Steve Crossley and Connor Farrell had forced an error on Dewsbury. They coughed the ball up, and from the resulting set of 6, Dalton Grant went in at the corner. Jordan Lilly couldn't add the extra 2, and here we are with Bradford on their own 40-metre line, 10 shy of halfway on the back of their third penalty. And Mikey Wood, who's just come on the field, will carry Bradford inside the Dewsbury Rams half. Certainly interesting to see now with Minchella on that right centre edge, with Rhys Evans yet to come back on the field. Bradford 30 metres out. Callum Busting down the middle. That's the third interchange of the afternoon from John Keir, and Busting's brought down on the fourth tackle just outside the 20-metre line. They're looking for an invitation. It goes towards Lilly. Lilly to Farrell. Farrell puts the fending on Finn, but Ryder comes in and he's wrapped up 8 metres out on the last tackle. 2 metres in from that far stand side. Grant at dummy half to Lilly. Lilly's going to pepper one. That's come off in Big Nian's right knee, and Dewsbury smother the ball, and they will play the ball 10 metres out, and it is Dale Morton who dived the quickest. He was the quickest to react to the loose ball inside the Dewsbury 10, and it remains Bradford 4, Dewsbury Rams 6. It's going to go out to Warrancy from Day. Warrancy immediately meets 3 red, amber and black white-shirted Bulls defenders. Push back inside the Dewsbury 20-metre line. 3 tackles gone here. It goes towards Knowles. Knowles to Trout. Trout can't get any momentum going as Hallis throws himself in that defensive line along with Mikey Wood, and along they'll go down this left-hand edge now as Tom Garrett, the former Siddle amateur, is going to be brought down 2 metres shy of the Dewsbury 40-metre line. Referee McMullen says that's the last. Finn, a bit of hesitancy there, finally gets his kick away, down towards Ethan Ryan. Ryan will take it on the far stand side from his own 20-metre line, and he's going to be brought down there by Sam Day 30 metres out from his own try line on tackle number 1. Lilly in at dummy half to Fogging Johnston. Johnston is going to attack in Big D and Knowles on this right-hand edge, and Fogging Johnston, using that upper body strength, carries himself up to the halfway line. Second tackle gone. Lilly on that right edge now towards Grant, and Grant, his first try of the season. Third tackle gone. Wildy now down the middle with a big bear. Callum Busting, 10, 15 metres forward. Busting's brought down, and the former Castleford man is brought down on the fourth tackle, 30 metres out from the Dewsbury line. Centre field position. The referee was just losing patience there with the Dewsbury defenders. He was just about to put whistle to lips. Mikey Wood goes up towards the Dewsbury 10. Centre field in front of the posts. Last tackle, says John McMullen. Milnes Clever kick towards Webster, and Dewsbury, they're forced to concede the line dropout. Kyle Trout has been taken dead in goal, and the referee will stop the clock here. And I was going to say, Damien, I thought that was diffused in the Dewsbury in goal area, so the referee, he will hastily allow a 20-metre restart from the Rams.
That's the right call. Another, not disappointing, but not the best end of the set. As Day again finding some yards up right through the middle of the pack there from dummy half, going very well. No, look, a decent end of the set there. The Bulls have got a bit of new impetus here. Mikey Wood and Callum Buster made a big impact off the bench. It must be said, Crossley and Kirk, who went off and were replaced by them, massive first 20 minutes of this game. Both of them probably the best two players on the park for Bradford Bulls here. Now, Dewsbury Rams are really going to be looking to get some points on here. They've probably given Bulls the end of the game through penalties, silly penalties and 2 errors where they didn't need to. So Dewsbury will fancy themselves here to try and go in towards half-time with more points under their belt.
Lucas Walshaw's brought down on the 4th tackle for the Rams. They're 20 metres out from the Bradford line as it goes towards Knowles. Knowles once again towards Owen Trout. Owen Trout's caught in a collision there by Rowan Milnes and Jake Webster, and that will be head and feed at the scrum to the Bradford Bulls. Connor Farrell also in there. A huge hit up there on Owen Trout. And the former Wakefield man there coughing the ball up. So, a 5th error in this first half for the Dewsbury Rams. Lady scores. It is Batley 0, Widnes 6, a tight one at Mount Pleasant. Lee 10, Barrow 2. It is Rochdale 12, Halifax 16 at Spotland. And at Bootham Crescent, York City Knights 6, Swinton Lions 4. Welcome to the competitive nature of the Betfred Championship, everyone. Here on Pulse 2, we've got 10 minutes to half-time. It is Bradford 4, Dewsbury 6. Ethan Ryan's brought down 2 metres shy of halfway. It goes now to Wilde, to Minchella. Minchella is brought down 10 inside the Dewsbury half on the Dewsbury 38-metre line. 38 out as it goes from Wilde to Lilly, Lilly to Farrell. Farrell brought down by Kibula on that right-hand edge, and they're 25 metres out now from that Dewsbury line. Wilde back to Lilly in centre field. Lilly to Milnes. Milnes towards Staunton. Staunton's brought down there by Walshaw and Day. Last tackle. Quick play the ball from Wilde towards Milnes. Great read there from Owen Trout. Owen Trout is going to be brought down 10 metres out from his own try line. And we've got 9 minutes to go to half-time here, Damien. This one's quite attritional, similar to what we saw last week. And the Bulls, 3 tackles in to that Dewsbury set of 6. They've just found themselves not square. And referee McMullen will give the Rams the 3rd penalty of the afternoon. 6 penalties in total, 3 penalties apiece.
Yeah, I think, again, the end of the set there was decent from Milne, but just didn't get a result. The Bulls aren't forcing points or repeat sets from the end of their sets, which will be the one thing I think John Keir will be disappointed in. Mostly, the Bulls are looking quite good in attack. They're working themselves around the park very nicely, and they just aren't capitalising on that field position with points at the moment.
So Dewsbury, 10 metres inside that Bradford Bulls half as it goes towards Callum Field, who's just come on the field. And Field's going to be brought down 10 metres inside the Bradford half. That's got me a Damien in a little bit of giggles. Tom Garrett tries to go through a gap on that left edge. It was Wildy and busted in defence. Robbie Ward also out there on the field now for Lee Greenwood's side. And the Dewsbury Rams, who come into this game this afternoon, 2 wins on the bounce, are looking for a second try. They're 10 metres out as it goes now towards Field once again. Last tackle, 8 metres out in front of the post. Ward to Finn. Finn goes towards Knowles. Knowles peppers one behind the line, but Jake Webster uses all his wealth of experience. He read the play before Knowles put boot to ball, and he has recovered possession for the Bradford Bulls. 5 metres out from his line, and I've got to say, Damien, the Bradford Bulls goal line defence is certainly looking mightily impressive this afternoon. 8 minutes to half time, Bulls 4, Rams 6.
Oh, Bradford Bulls are looking quite impressive in a lot of areas this afternoon. They're not doing too much wrong at all, certainly defensively. They've been solid, except for that one error under the sticks, which led to the points. But certainly in attack, they're doing a good job as well. The one area that I think they can do a little bit better in, as I just said before, was that end of set, either going for a repeat. If they can't get an attacking kick away to look for points, they need to get those repeat kicks on, sets on. But other than that, very even game of rugby league we've got here on our hands as we're heading towards the half-time break. Mick, 7 to go.
Lily with the kick on the last tackle, straight down the throat of Warrancy, and Warrancy's going to be immediately smothered by 3 Bradford defenders. Dangerous tackle here. I'm not sure who it was. The referee's going to stop the clock. The touch judge comes on and is going to look towards Mikey Ward. It was Mikey Ward who went for the legs, and he's lifted the Dewsbury player above the horizontal here. I think this will just be the incident placed on the report. Damien is just getting word from the touch judge on the far stand side. I think Mikey Ward could be in a bit of trouble here. He's going to the back pocket. It's John McMullen. Here we go. The Bulls is calling out Mikey Ward. Mikey Ward is sent to the bin for 10 minutes. So that has got the crowd animated. I have no complaints whatsoever with that decision, Damien. Mikey Wood clearly attacked the Dewsbury player's legs and tipped him above the horizontal.
It probably wasn't necessary either, which is more frustrating, Mick. 23 metres out, a bit of an innocuous play there from the Dewsbury Rams, trying to assert some dominance in defence. I understand that from Mikey Wood, trying to muscle up. But no, once you lift, once you turn a player over like that, there's only one way it's going. I think it was the right decision by the officials. But it's put the Bulls under immense pressure here now. They're 2 points behind, and Dewsbury Rams attacking 20 metres out right in front of the sticks.
Bulls 4, Rams 6, Bulls down to 12. Dewsbury have the numerical advantage this afternoon as it goes from Robbie Ward to Finn. Finn to Imbigdian. Imbigdian's going to be brought down 12 metres out. Lily in defence. Also, once again, with Connor Farrell. Here we go. Field fancies his chances past Bustin, and Bustin wraps him up, smothers him up, and here we go. Dewsbury now 5 out from the Bradford line. Just to the left-hand side of the post. Robbie Ward attacking the Bulls markers. Once again, that Bradford Bulls goal line defence standing firm. 5 tackles gone, so they'll go back to Finn. Crossfield kick. Warrancy, too much on it. Over the head of Warrancy and Johnston. And defogging Johnston. The Bulls want to take a quick tap. They'll go towards Milnes. Milnes will tap it. Here we go. Webster on the 7 tackle restart. On the 0 tackle, he's brought down on his own 30 metre line. So we've got 6 minutes to go here at Odsall Stadium on Pulse 2. A try apiece. Kyle Trout for the Rams in the 13th minute. Dalton Grant for the Bulls in the 20th minute. This one really tight and tense. Attritional, like a game of chess between 2 Russian masters. Who's going to make the move that is going to unlock the defence of the other? It goes to Hallis on that wide edge, and Hallis will be brought down by Kyle Trout, and Imbigdian just inside the Dewsbury 40 metre line. Wilde towards Bustin. Bustin's going to be brought down by Ward and Trout just outside the 20 on the 4th tackle. Here goes Wilde. Wilde looking for options. Delays the pass towards Milnes. Milnes will front up, and he'll be brought down by Ward and Field. 8 metres out on the last tackle. Hallison at dummy half to Lily. Lily shifts it on that far hand edge towards Farrell. Farrell kicks it straight down the throat of Hooley. And Dewsbury, well, anything the Bulls can do on the goal line defence, the Rams can better it. And it remains here with 4 minutes to half time. Bradford 4, Dewsbury 6. And now the Rams will try and get some meterage forward via Knowles. And Webster's stolen the ball. 1-on-1. Webster's pinched it from Dale Morton, and Webster has it 15 metres out. It's going to go towards Wilde to Lily. They're going to shift it down the middle with Hallis. John Keir looking on, telling them to calm it down. You've got a full set of 6. 3 minutes to half time. The Bulls trail by 2 to Lily. Lily to Minchella. Minchella's coughed the ball up. And Dale Morton gets retribution because he got him Minchella's eye line. And that is a 4th error from the Bulls in this first half, I believe, in that Dewsbury 20 metre line. And it remains Bulls 4, Rams 6.
Yeah, just a lack of composure there, as you said, Mick. It was early in the count, a quick repeat set work, very good work there from Jake Webster to get the one-on-one steal. And gone that right side again where they're fancying, just in the 10-metre line. But Jordan Lilly, just as I said, he found Minchella, getting back to that little bit of lack of fluidity there because of Minchella playing in the centres where he's not used to be. The pass was good, but disappointing that. You've got to try and get a repeat set there. John Keir was most frustrated as Dewsbury Rams working it now off the 20.
Dewsbury Rams just outside their own 20-metre line as it goes from Ward. Ward to Owen Trout. Trout wrapped up by Milnes and Bustin. Gets up a little bit gingerly there. He was dropped unceremoniously by Callum Bustin, and Callum Bustin comes in for more action here. And the former Castleford man, since his introduction, certainly not afraid to do the hard yards in defence down the middle. Here come the Dewsbury Rams, though. They're on the Bradford 40-metre line. Centre field. It goes from Ward to Finn, out to Hooley, to Ryder. Ryder to Morton. Morton's away, but he will be brought back for a forward pass. That was 1st and 10 stuff. It will be a scrum head and feed to the Bradford Bulls, 30 metres out from their own try line. And the score board here at Odsal on Pulse 2 this afternoon still reads Bradford 4, Dewsbury 6. Lady scores on the doors. It is Batley 6, Widnes 6 at half-time, Lee 22, Barrow 6, Rochdale and Halifax playing out a blinder at Spotland. It is 18-22 to Halifax, and it is the York City Knights 12, Swinton Lions 4. In the Super League, it is Salford 6, Hull FC 10. Bradford, one last hurrah, you feel, before half-time as Wilde fires the pass from the scrum towards Lilly. Lilly's now brought down just inside the Dewsbury half. It's going to go to Bustin, to Milnes. Milnes over on this left-hand edge towards Webster. Webster moves laterally, back in centre field to Hallis. Hallis to Lilly. Lilly to Minchella. Minchella past Finn. Past Kibula, still going forward, Minchella, back to Webster. Webster down the middle, 18 metres out. 2 tackles remaining here for John Keir's side. 70 seconds at the end of this first half remaining. Lilly's pass to Minchella. Minchella fends off Morton, keeps it going to Hallis. Hallis is going to be brought down 5 metres out from the Dewsbury line. This is the 4th tackle here for John Keir's side. They trail 6 points to 4. It goes to Lilly. Lilly out wide. Minchella. Dalton Grant. Dalton Grant is in for a double. Double bubble. Dalton Grant. The Bulls will lead with just seconds remaining in this first half. It is 8 points to 6. And the Bulls have finally broken this Dewsbury defensive resolve.
They've knocked and knocked and knocked on that right edge, the Dewsbury Rams left edge, Mick. They finally got there. Some smart work, really smart work from Jake Webster, keeping the ball alive. Sam Hallis on the inside.
Bradford Bulls Live. The story so far.
It's Rowan Milnes, crossfield kick towards Ethan Ryan, and Ethan Ryan now has try number 7 of the season. There appeared to be a bobble, a knock on there from Ethan Ryan. The Keighley supporters, it's their turn to be bemused. But just before the half-time hooter, Ethan Ryan has got the Bulls on the scoreboard. Rowan Milnes, crossfield kick, taken on the floor by Ethan Ryan, and he just rolled over and touchdown. Dalton Grant with his 2nd try of the afternoon. This is first start in the championship for 2019. And another attacking option coming back into John Keir's plans. Jordan Lilly with the conversion attempt on the far-stand side. The Pulse 2 kick predictor gives him only 38%. Lilly strikes it, it's gone wide. Half-time here at Odsal Stadium. It is the Bradford Bulls 8, Dewsbury Rams 6 here in the Betfred Championship. Here at Odsal, it is 8 points to 6. The sides just coming out to resume their hostilities out there on the field. The Bulls, to the credit, without Mikey Wood. He will spend the first 5 minutes of the second half still in the sin bin for a dangerous tip tackle on Dale Morton. So it'll be Bradford to get proceedings back underway via the boot of Jordan Lilly on his return to action. And it is Bradford Bulls 8, Dewsbury Rams 6. We're back underway here. Pulse 2, as there's a bit of hesitancy at the back there between Luke Hooley and Michael Knowles. In the end, it was Hooley who decided to leave the ball, and Knowles will carry it up on tackle number 1 on the restart. So back underway at Odsall, back underway at Mount Pleasant, the Lee Sports Village, Spotland and Bootham Crescent. We've got 40 intoxicating minutes of Betfred Championship action. Let's see where this one's going to go, because this is not a given that the Bulls are home and hosed by any imagination. And immediately it's going to be Imbigdian, the loose forward for the Rams, 5 shy of halfway. Back to Trout. Trout along the line. He's wrapped up 5 metres inside the Bradford half as Robbie Ward gives it to Knowles. Knowles carries it towards Milnes. Takes on Milnes, kicks it up high. Here it is, it's coming down. Ethan Ryan will take that one, and Ryan's wrapped up 12 out from his own try line on tackle number 1. Bradford's first spell of possession, and they've conceded an early penalty, the Rams here. A high tackle on D. Fogging Johnston. So 4 penalties apiece, 8 in total. And Rowan Milnes is going to find touch on that far stand side. And there's still no sign of Rhys Evans at the start of this second half. So once again, John Keir has been forced to reshuffle Elliot Minchella over on this right-hand edge with Dalton Grant. And thus far, so good. 2 try assists from Minchella, sending Dalton Grant in. So perhaps that injury, it could have a pivotal role to play in this one. So Bradford from their first penalty of the second half. Lily to Bustin. Bustin's brought down 25 out from the Dewsbury line. Brought down there by Trout and Knowles in a 2-man tackle. Milnes has gone out the ball. It's gone backwards. Picked up by Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan, fleet of foot, tries to pirouette his way past Hooley. Hooley comes in and wraps him up on that left-hand edge. So too with Michael Knowles in a two-man tackle. Here goes Rowan Milnes. Rowan Milnes for the Bradford Bulls. That is what the Bulls have been missing all season long. A half-back who takes the line off. Great evasive qualities. Rowan Milnes was spinning around, and he has beat 4 Dewsbury defenders. It is Bradford 12, Dewsbury 6, right at the start of this second half.
Really good half-back play there. In fact, the Bulls got themselves in very good position. Ethan Ryan did some good work to get him behind the line and was tackled. Bulls had great numbers out to the left. They had a 4-on-3 situation. But Ryan was hurt in the tackle, and it wasn't as quick a play the ball as it perhaps could have been. That didn't deter Milne, though. He was first receiver on that left-hand side. He dummied. He had the numbers. He summed it up beautifully. Great vision from the young halfback. He had the numbers outside him, but he just saw the Dewsbury Rams also saw that they were outnumbered, so they rushed the line. That was all the young halfback needed. He dummied. He stepped inside, stepped around the fullback, and a lovely finish. Very, very good try to the Bradford Bulls.
The Pulse 2 kick predictor is going to say Elliot Minchella has a 64% chance of sending this one over. Minchella taking over the goal-kicking duties from Jordan Lilly, who couldn't convert either of Dalton Grant's tries in that first half. And here we go, 15 metres in from that far stand side. Minchella, he adds the extra 2 points, and it's Bradford Bulls 14, Dewsbury Rams 6 on Pulse 2 this afternoon. And Rowan Milnes' first try of the season has got the Bulls up and running, and it's 14-6, a 2-score lead.
Yeah, look, a great start. You couldn't ask for a better start. The messages from out of the sheds from both coaches were more of the same, really, Mick. They wanted the sides to keep doing what they were doing, reduce the errors. But Dewsbury felt the errors were coming and leading to points, and to be fair, that's exactly how it was. Piggyback tackles. The Bulls, to be fair, to get points on the board whilst they were down to the 12 men was really beneficial, and they've got a great start to this second half. I don't see Rhys Evans coming back and being involved in the second half, Mick. They're not quite sure what the issue is, but it doesn't look like he'll be returning at all.
Bradford Bulls on the restart then. 12 shy of halfway. Hallis gets up, plays the ball. It goes once again to Milnes. Milnes towards Staunton on that left-hand edge. Staunton's wrapped up, rolled in a 2-man tackle. Robbie Ward and Michael Knowles, the 2 Dewsbury Rams defenders. Here goes Matty Wildy, straight out of dummy half, attacking the Dewsbury markers. last tackle for the Bulls here. 38 metres out. Milnes to Lilly. Lilly, was he caught late there? Lilly's down on the floor. Referee John McMullen. On comes the touch judge. I think the Bulls are going to be given a penalty here, Damien. Lilly looked to be taken late after he put boot to ball. And it's getting a little bit fiery out there. Liam Finn wants to argue a penalty to the Bulls.
I think Liam Finn's actually got a very good case here, Mick. Look, it was an ugly collision. It certainly hurt the halfback Lilly, but it was fair. It was well timed. The pass was just a little bit behind Lilly for the fifth tackle. The Bulls weren't on the front foot, and it was a great chase, a kick chase, and it was a great tackle. It wasn't too high, and I think they're a bit hard done by there, Dewsbury Rams, if I'm honest.
Referee John McMullen has awarded the Bulls their 6th penalty of the afternoon here. Rowan Milnes, ball in hand, and Liam Finn just talking to referee John McMullen there. He is the Dewsbury captain. He's allowed to ask what the decision was for. Damien says it was harsh. I'm saying there was contact, and in the letter of the law, you've got to give a penalty. Can this turn into points for the Bulls? They lead the Rams 14 points to 6 here. They're in good field position. Milnes to Wildy. Wildy towards Ryan. Ryan's brought down 10 metres out, 10 in from that far stand side. Wildy in at dummy half. Quick play the ball as it goes once again to Milnes. And Bradford have the ball with Hallis down the middle channel. 10 metres out in front of the post. Been a good strong start from John Keir's side in this second half. 4th tackle gone. Callum Bustin's brought down 2 metres out. Wildy towards Mikey Wood. Wood on that left stand edge, who's come back out there on the field. So Bradford have scored 2 tries while they were down to 12 men, Damien. I think when Lee Greenwood looks at that stat, that'll be quite frustrating for the Dewsbury Rams, as Mikey Wood on the 4th tackle has lost the ball 2 metres out from the Dewsbury line. So a bit of respite there for Lee Greenwood's side. But crucially, the Bulls, while Mikey Wood was in the bin, Damien, they've posted 10 points.
Incredible that. I mean, the Bulls had a lot of possession first half and weren't able to get the points across. As soon as they go down a man, they start to find the line. Rugby league's funny like that. But a poor error there in that set, failed to complete the set from the Bradford Bulls just on the 10-metre attacking line. And Dewsbury now, they've got the benefit of the scrum feed and they're coming out off their own end.
Bulls 14, Rams 6. Tom Garrett for the Rams, brought down by Hallis and Bustin. Matty Wildy's offside, so he will not play any part, as Sam Kabula, the Wigan Warriors loanee, is brought down 15 shy of halfway. Here we go. They're going to go down the middle channel again as it goes once again with Garrett. Garrett's brought down in a 2-man tackle. And once again, Connor Farrell, Mikey Wood, and Mikey Wood now on the 4th tackle. He will grab hold of Robbie Ward. He will bring him down, and that was a very silly penalty. Penalty count now 6-5, and Liam Finn will find touch on this main stand side. So here we go. Bullman's in the crowd in the main stand. We'll give him a thumbs up and a bit of a wave as it's tapped quickly there on the right boot by Robbie Ward. Robbie Ward goes down the middle with Trout. Trout's brought down on the Bradford 20-metre line. Ward once again in at dummy half towards Knowles. Knowles on that right-hand edge towards Walshaw. Walshaw's twisting and turning in the tackle, attacking that Bulls right edge defence. 12 metres out from the Bradford line. Dewsbury trail 14-6 as they go down the middle with Garrett. Garrett back to Knowles. Knowles caught in a tailspin there. They were calling for the ball on this main stand side, but once again it was Mikey Wood and Elliot Minchella in defence. Here we go. They're going to try and crash over the line. Callum Field held up. Second time the Rams have been held up in the Bulls in goal area, and the referee says we will go back to the 10. So 10 metres out on the 4th tackle. A bit of pressure here from the Rams. A wayward pass by Liam Finn, picked up on that right-hand edge as they're going to head down full steam towards the Bradford line, and that's the last tackle. They're 5 metres out, centre field. It goes to Finn. Finn's going to run it to Hooley. Hooley against Minchella. He can't get past Elliot Minchella. Jordan Lilly comes in with Connor Farrell as the A, B and C defenders. And Bradford have repelled that spell of Dewsbury pressure. And on pulse 2, with 50 minutes gone here at Odsall this afternoon. It has been a gripping game, it must be said. Bradford 14, Dewsbury 6, and here come the Bulls now moving the ball out from their own 20-metre line as Steve Crossley comes on for his second spell of the afternoon. With Bradford's fourth interchange of the afternoon. We've yet to see George Flanagan out there. One suspects we might see him shortly. Lily's going to kick early in the count on the fourth. It'll turn around Dewsbury. Morton will bring it from his own 20 up towards the Dewsbury 30, 20 shy of halfway, and here we go. Conor Farrell, Mikey Wood penalised. 6 penalties apiece here at Odsall. The Bulls have just lost a little bit of discipline and composure in the last 5 minutes, Damien.
We said at the start of the game, Mick, and there are penalties and there are penalties. The penalties that the Dewsbury Rams gave away in the first half were smart penalties. They were dark art penalties. They lent a little bit longer. They held players down in the tackle, just trying to gain that advantage. The Bulls' penalties they've given away, the lifting tackle, going from marker from an offside position, the leg pull there, they're not smart penalties to give away. They're not gaining any advantage. There's no point giving those away. So John Keir would be a little bit disappointed in those. They've given away the last 3 penalties in this game now, and Dewsbury Rams attacking 30 metres out from the Bulls' line, but they've come up with an error, Mick.
Mikey Wood, 30 seconds ago, gave away a penalty, and now he has forced Tom Garrett, the former Siddle amateur, into an error 30 metres out from the Bradford line. Dewsbury's 7th error of the afternoon, and this will play into the Bulls' hands because we've got 29 minutes remaining, and John Keir has just rolled his 5th interchange of the afternoon as George Flanagan comes on to the field. So if you're just joining us, Dalton Grant scored twice in the first half, Milnes early in the second, and it is the Bradford Bulls 14, Dewsbury Rams 6. Flanagan out of dummy half towards Crossley. Crossley, tackle number 2, rolled over, 10 shy of halfway. Flanagan, good distribution towards Lily on this right-hand edge, towards the main stand side. Line break from Conor Farrell. Conor Farrell goes past Hooley. Bigdian and Finn had to come in and wrap him up. And the Dewsbury Rams, they're going to be penalised here. Robbie Ward knew what he was doing, laying on in the tackle. Conor Farrell has turned the Dewsbury Rams defensive line to dust, going through from 30 metres. And Jordan Lilly just urging the Bulls to calm things down a little bit here. 7th penalty that they've been awarded, and they're going to play the ball 10 metres out because that's tackle number 1, and it's Mikey Wood just to the right-hand side of the post. Back they're going to come down the middle channel. Flanagan to Steve Crossley. I tell you what, Damien, we're sensing a 4th Bradford try here. They've got a lot of momentum and ascendancy behind them. It goes to Flanagan, to Milnes, out to Ryan. Defogging Johnston dives in at the corner. The try will not be given. Defogging Johnston, he's just put a foot in touch. Will go back to the Dewsbury 10, and it'll be scrum feed, head and feed to the Rams. Bradford 14, Dewsbury Rams 6 here at Odsall Stadium. 27 minutes remain. A game of inches for Defogging Johnson.
It was all started from a magnificent line here, run from the centres from Callum. It was Conor Farrell. Beautiful line, nice finish to the set there. Very unlucky, Foggin Johnson. He got over the back. I thought he might have been a bit premature, the touch judge putting his flag up there. But now Dewsbury Rams bringing it out now, 35 metres out. Big set in defence this, the Bulls to keep the ascendancy.
Dewsbury via Robbie Ward trying to attack the markers. Crossley though unmoved. 4th tackle gone, 10 shy of halfway. Liam Finn out there just asking Luke Hooley to drive it in, which he does, up to the halfway line. They're going to come on this main stand side here, and it's going to be a run on that left edge from Chris Anakin. Anakin's lost the ball. Big contact there from Sam Hallison, Mikey Wood, and Jordan Lilly. High fives are plenty. Look at the body language of the Bulls players, Damien. Infused, they're proud. They almost celebrate every Dewsbury error and knock on like they've just won a championship grand final, and it remains with 26 minutes remaining. Bulls 14, Rams 6.
And they need to, Mick. As you say, there's only an 8-point game in that. They had a lot of ascendancy in the first 20 minutes of the first half, and Dewsbury came back and put points on the board and made it a very even game. Bulls 8 points out now. It feels like it should be 12 or 14. It's only 8. They're really going to need to capitalise in this next 10, 15 minutes and just try to put this game to bed, because Dewsbury will keep coming.
Well, let's not forget our big, bold Pulse 2 prediction for kick-off. I think you said it was going to be tight and tense. I said there'd be no more than 14 points in it, as George Flanagan does what George Flanagan does best, wins a penalty on the halfway line for the Bradford Bulls. They're 8 for the afternoon, and that was after they forced Chris Anakin into that error. 2 tackles later, Milnes is finding touch on the far stand side, the popular terrace, 30 metres out, and here we go. You almost suspect a fourth try to Bradford, putting a little bit of more daylight on the scoreboard and make things a little bit more comfortable for John Keir and the Bradford Bulls. And after those 2 early home defeats against York and Toulouse, Odsal is slowly becoming Fortress Odsal once again. Flanagan down the middle towards Hallis. Hallis there, brought down by Sharif, and also Anakin in a 2-man tackle just to the left-hand side of the post. Back across the face to Milnes. Milnes with another dummy and a scoop and a step, and he's brought down 8 metres out. So Milnes looking a little bit lively as he gains a bit of confidence. Here goes Flanagan out of dummy half. Flanagan driving towards the line. He's lost the ball, has it? It's been stolen, says John McMullen, the referee from Warrington, and it's a 9th penalty of the afternoon now for the Bradford Bulls, and the pressure really mounting up here on the Dewsbury Rams. And Liam Finn is down. He's going to claim he's got a knock to the knee, and the referee will stop the clock. And the Bull supporters, they're claiming it's unsportsmanlike conduct. Crucially, Damien, the physios are going to come on, but Bradford will have another repeat set from their 9th penalty of the afternoon, 10 metres out from the Dewsbury line, which Bradford lead 14-6.
They will. I think Liam Finn's not the sort of player that will lay down unless he's injured and needs attention, and the physios are giving that to him now. No advantage in laying down there. It was a set piece anyway. It was going to come back for a penalty, so I hope he's okay there. And George Flanagan, he's always good for 1 or 2 goes from dummy half. That was a good choice to go blindside there. Held up. It took 4 defenders to hold up George Flanagan on that short side. Jordan Lilly coming now into first receiver from this set play. It's interesting to see Kirk and Crossley back out on the pitch, the starting prop forwards for the Bulls. Setting up for a big backline play here. Interesting also, Jake Webster fit for the second half. He took a knock in the first half, but seems to have muscled through. Most games we seem to see him go down for some attention, Mick, but he's a very robust rugby league player, and he's back out of the game. Really interesting coming down to the final 25 minutes in this game. What the Bulls can do here is they play the ball, and it's going to be a set piece hit up by Kirk underneath the sticks, 3 metres out from the Dewsbury Rams line.
Flanagan in at dummy half. The Bulls in a fantastic field position here. Flanagan fires it to Lilly on this right-hand edge. Back it goes to Farrell. Farrell brought down by Sharif. Ball and all tackled by Jody Sharif. Flanagan to Crossley. Crossley. There's coal on the fire as he gets the legs warmed up, and he's rolled over on his back. 3rd tackle gone. Still 2 out from the Dewsbury line. Flanagan tries to pitch one from dummy half. He's rolled over the Dewsbury line. There's legs in the air. Flanagan has to get upright and play the ball. There's just an almighty entanglement of legs and arms there. Bradford get to play the ball. Milnes, Ryan, Webster. Webster's lost the ball. That's touched the Dewsbury hand. Referee, though, will say knock on. Robbie Ward celebrates this one. And the touch judge comes in because something's happened between Jake Webster on the far stand side, and he's just going to calm things down. This will be head and feet to the Dewsbury Rams. Chance gone begging, Damien. I'm guessing the merits of taking the extra 2 points there to add an extra 2 on. You're already leading by a 2-score lead of 8. But crucially, Dewsbury still showing a lot of resolve and fight and spirit, and it remains 14-6 still. 23 minutes remain.
I think it was the right call to go for the try there, but poorly executed. I don't think the play from dummy half from George Flanagan was the right call that time. It just slowed things down, and the ball needed to be spread early in a tackle count. But still, points very, very much at a premium here. It's not going to be a high-scoring game. 8 points in it, 22 minutes left. Dewsbury Rams working it out off their 30-metre line.
Loney from Wakefield. Chris Anakin nearly juggled with the ball there. He managed to keep hold of it. Sam Day back out there on the field. Here goes Back down the right edge does Anakin, former Shawcross Sharks junior. 2 metres inside the Bradford half on this main stand side. George Sharif punches a huge hole down the middle, and Dewsbury on the last tackle, 30 metres out. Good field position. Finn calls for it. Great kick pressure there from Connor Farrell. Ethan Ryan will take that one safe as houses, and he'll be brought down by Morton and Ryder, and Imbigdian in a free-man Dewsbury tackle 8 metres out from his own try line. Grant in at dummy half to Foggin Johnston. Foggin Johnston with an infused carry back towards the Bradford 15-metre line. 2 tackles gone. Flanagan out of dummy half once again to Grant. This is one of those sets of 6 where the forwards get a bit of a breather. We've got 21 minutes remaining, approaching the hour mark. Rowan Milnes looks for the 40-20. The bounce of the ball's kind, but here goes Luke Hooley skirting back. 10 metres out from his own line, and he'll be brought down just outside his own 20-metre line. So Milnes, good kick, chase defence. Mikey Wood and Jordan Lilly, the 2 red, amber and black shirted Bulls defenders who brought down Luke Hooley there. So second tackle gone. Dale Morton out of his own 40-metre line, and it's going to go towards Warrancy. Warrancy's on the halfway line. We've had we've had just shy of 20 minutes gone here. 21 minutes remain, approaching the hour mark. The 3/4 time in this one. Dewsbury get a try. They're back in this one. Here we go. It goes back towards Warrancy. And Warrancy's going to be brought down by Lilly. Lilly's just put a little arm in there. The referee's not seen it. The ball's come loose. He'll let Warrancy play it on the last. He'll say tackle completed. 20 metres out. He's going to put a high hanging kick up for Johnston. Johnston's lost it. It's gone backwards. And Johnston's coughed it up. So Liam Finn has got some magic for the Rams. They'll have a scrum 10 metres out from the Bradford line. Exactly an hour gone. 14 points to 6. The Bulls lead, but a crucial set of 6 coming up here for Lee Greenwood and the Rams.
Unlucky that for Foggin Johnson. He got up there high. He was under a lot of pressure, a lot of bodies around the ball when it was coming down. A very decent kick that from Finn. Beautifully positioned just to come down right on the try line. Massive pressure here for the Bulls as they go on the short side. Dewsbury Rams on the attack.
Webster takes on Hooley. Hooley's brought down. Dayan at dummy half. Goes to Jody Sharif. Sharif's brought down by Crossley and Flanagan. 5 metres out, in front of the post, back to Finn. Finn gives it to Anakin. Chris Anakin gets his head stuck down and goes towards the Bradford line. 2 metres out, Sam Day's got a pinch one. Has Day got the ball down? The referee says Sam Day's lost it, and it was Hallis who quickly caused pandemonium there. And Hallis, he was a couple of plays ahead of everybody. Hallis has quickly tapped it on the 20-metre line, and he was on his way towards the Dewsbury line. The referee, though, is going to ask for a control restart because some of the Bulls players were still in front of the 20. But great defence from Sam Hallis there, dislodging the ball as Sam Day went over the Bulls line underneath the post. So once again, great defence from the Bradford Bulls, and that'll please John Keir a lot. Something they've worked on, and they've only let Dewsbury in for 6 points thus far while scoring 14. We've got 19 minutes remaining at Odsall. Mikey Wood, quick play the ball, just shy of halfway. Goes towards Flanagan to Milnes to Staunton on that left-hand edge. And once again, Bradford stacked, looking for those runners who are going to just put the head down and charge towards that Dewsbury Rams defence. Crossley towards Lilly. They've moved the ball 40 metres on this right-hand edge, and Connor Farrell, a forward pass, past Grant, past Minchella, into the main stand. Pressure let off here, 18 to go in this one on Pulse 2. Bradford 14, Dewsbury 6, Damien.
Yeah, the longer this goes in this, just hanging in the balance here, Mick, the more tight and nervous things are going to get. No side has put the other to the sword just yet. 8 points in it is no points at all in a game of rugby league. Similar to the first half, it went quite a long period without points, but the points came late in the half. And if we see that again, we're in for some sort of a finish here. 14 points to 6, the Bulls lead. And Dewsbury Rams coming out off the 35-metre line. Very tense here, Mick. If we're still going in the next 5 minutes like this, it's going to be some sort of grandstand finish.
Yeah, get ready to strap yourselves in, boys and girls. Perhaps not. Luke Hooley He took an offload from Owen Trout, who's just come on the field, and he's knocked it on. And Dewsbury only make it to tackle number 2. So at the moment they're the architects of their own downfall. Scrum head and feet to the Bradford Bulls, and it remains Bradford 14, Dewsbury 6. A brace of tries from Dalton Grant on his first competitive start of the season in the Championship, and that was followed up by a first try of the season from Rowan Milnes, who was featured in Bradford's last 2 games. He got his starting orders in that 26-12 win against the Lee Centurions, Bradford last home game here 2 weekends ago. So Minchella from the base of the scrum, 5 metres out from this main stand side here, gets to his feet. Flanagan's in there at dummy half, along the line to Lilly, Lilly to Hallis. Hallis is going to be brought down by Day and Trout in a 2-man tackle. 24 metres out, centre field position. Once again, Hallis out of dummy half to Lilly. Lilly caught by Fane, and Fane wraps Lilly up 18 metres out, 2 tackles remaining. They're going to go to Farrell. Farrell 8 metres out, a 10-metre attacking raid, and that's the 4th tackle here gone for John Keir's side. Minchella's in at dummy half. They're going to go right in centre field towards Lilly. Lilly to Wood, and Wood's brought down right in front of the posts. 10 metres out. That right arm raised by John McMullen. Flanagan at dummy half to Milnes. Milnes crossfield kick, looking for Webster. The ball's loose in the Dewsbury Rams in goal area, and here come the Rams with a counter. It's Warrancy. Warrancy's 20 out from his own line, and that was a game of millimetres and inches. Webster and Defogging Johnston were chasing that kick from Milnes on the last. And with 15 minutes remaining, this one's not over yet, as here goes Sam Kabula. Kabula's lost the ball, and Dewsbury, that will be their 10th error of the game. You can see what they're doing, Damien. They're having to play against the scoreboard and against the clock, but all of a sudden, this expansive style, it's causing the Bulls a little bit of problems, but unfortunately for the Bulls, the Rams been a little bit too adventurous.
Is Mick, but it's also not the style of play which caused the Bulls trouble in the first half. The Bulls' tight dummy half work from Day was what is a feature of the game for the first 60 minutes at least. They're going away from that, chasing their tails and lacking patience. With 15 minutes left, there's plenty of rugby league left to be played. I think Dewsbury Rams will be a little bit disappointed in trying to force the issue in a little bit of an unnatural fashion, trying to throw the ball around there, and there's they haven't come up trumps. Bit of an issue for Milnes in back play is a concern for the Bulls. He's very slow getting back. He's been under treatment for the last few minutes. He's coming back to feed that scrum, which is a good sign. Still very much hanging in the balance. 15 minutes to go, 8-point ball game. Next try wins, I would say, Mick.
I don't disagree with that statement. 15 minutes remain. Bradford, 15 metres inside the Dewsbury half, as Sam Hallis has his jersey shrugged and pulled, and he'll get the quick play the ball away, as it quickly goes down the middle once again with Mikey Wood, who's gone through a mountain of work. Here goes Milnes. Milnes to Staunton on that left edge. Staunton rolled over. 10 metres out. 10 metres to the left-hand side of the post. Flanagan at dummy half to Crossley. Good crisp passing. Lilly to Ryan to Minchella. Minchella looking for his first try of the season, and that was silky smooth passing. Minchella, his first try of 2019, and that's the moment when the Bulls, they're gonna go to 10 points and 5 wins for the season. They lead the Dewsbury Rams by 18 points to 6.
Elliot Minchella have been an unsung hero today. He's been out of position. He pushed wide when Reece Evans was hurt early in the game. But still, the Bulls have stuck to the game plan, which was going through the hands through the right. A lot of pressure on Elliot Minchella to fill that role a little bit wider than normal. And he's come up absolutely smelling of roses there. The effort that had to be in to finishing that try, no mean feat. He had 2 defenders on him. He got it into the corner. A beautiful finish from a player who's an out-and-out rugby league player. He's a natural rugby league player. He's a great athlete. He's filled in with the smarts, the brains today to help the side out with a little bit of restructuring there due to injury. He's come in. He's taken the kicking duties off Jordan Lilly, who missed the first 2. Tough, albeit that they were. He slotted a kick over, and he's lining this one up from the sideline. A really first-class, classy performance of rugby league from Elliot Minchella today, thoroughly deserving of that try.
So, 30 centimetres in from this main stand side. That's how close Minchella was. The Pulse 2 kick predictor says he's only got a 22% chance. But with the right boot, Minchella, this one's going to curl in. Oh my word! Jonathan Thurston-esque. Or Daryl Halligan-esque. Rolling back the years at Odsel. 20 points to 6 on Pulse 2. Minchella out 2 from 2.
Really incredible, Mick. Minchella's work is great as a loose forward. He's in tight around the ruck. He gets his hands free. He's a third half almost. Today he hasn't been able to play that way because he's been forced a little bit further wide. Not able to get his hands on the ball as much as his natural game allows. But he's found a way to really instill and imprint himself on this match to be a match winner. I think it's been a brilliant performance, and that kick just has the icing on the cake. Beautiful.
We'll ask you for 4 players, Damien, to put on the Bradford Bulls live. Man of the match, Paul, in a couple of moments' time. I think Elliot Minchella is going to be one of the names in the poll. Crossley on the restart, 30 out from his own line. Flanagan attacks the Dewsbury markers. It's now looking like a very tired, weary Dewsbury Rams defensive side. To be fair, they've gone through a lot of effort. They've repelled many Bradford attacks. And with 12 minutes remaining, Bradford lead, crucially, by 3 clear scores. 14 points the difference. Bulls 20, Rams 6. And Jordan Lilly now, that game management brain has seen the light flick on, and he will drive the ball down onto the Odsel turf, and that will find touch 20 metres out from the Dewsbury Rams line. Lady scores on the doors. Batley Bulldogs, and Widnes is going down to the wire. Batley 16, Widnes 18. It's Lee 44, Barrow 18, so a bit of a blowout at the Lee Sports Village. Rochdale 18, Halifax 46 at Spotland, and at Bootham Crescent it is York 30, Swinton 10. So crucially for the Bradford Bulls, all those sides above them in the table also winning. So the Bulls, if scores remain the same, they will remain 7th, but once again they'll just be 2 points separating York, Lee, Featherstone, Bradford and Halifax. That is how tight the Betfred Championship is in 2019. Here come the Dewsbury Rams. They'll win a penalty out of dummy half. Sam Day catching Rowan Milnes, who was just a little bit lazy getting back in that defensive line. So 9-7, the penalty count. We've got 11 minutes remaining here on Pulse 2. It's currently Salford 16, Hull FC 22 in the Betfred Super League. And from a West Yorkshire perspective, in League One, it is Whitehaven 16, Hunslet 12. So Gary Thornton's side certainly in with a shout in the closing embers of that one. 10 minutes 30 here at Odsel. Dewsbury play the ball 10 metres out from the Bradford line. Sam Day goes towards the post, brought down 2 metres out. It's another penalty. Ethan Ryan has stolen the ball. Ethan Ryan's away. He will have to return the ball back into the arms of Daniel Imbignian, who had the ball stolen in a 2-man tackle. The referee saying Ryan and Crossley there. And Bradford, well, if Dewsbury can get a try here, this one is not done. 20 points to 6. They need to score on this set, you feel, as it goes towards Finn. Finn to Kibula. Big Kibula's brought down 8 metres out. Hooley at dummy half to Finn. Finn to Anakin. Anakin goes back towards Imbignian. Imbignian on that right-hand edge attacks Milnes, but Farrell goes straight for the legs. Good tackle there from the Bradford Bulls. They're 5 metres out, the Rams. Day, Knowles. Knowles caught by Crossley on the collar, dragged to the turf. 10 metres out. That's got the crowd warmed up. It goes to Liam Finn, and Liam Finn's pass there to Jody Sharif. He's caught the cold. That one's knocked on. That will be scrum head and feet to the Bulls. And I think, Damien, that is the moment you can cement win number 5 of the season for the Bulls. It's Bradford 20, Dewsbury 6. Tries from Grant, Milnes, Minchella, and a brace of tries from Grant.
I think they needed points there, Dewsbury, to keep in this game. as Bulls play the scrum feed now, coming out of their 10 metres. Must be said, and I think worthy note, Dewsbury have been good today in a lot of areas. I think young Sam Day has been absolutely outstanding at dummy half. And when he wasn't on the pitch, we really felt, I think the Bulls lacked any danger really coming at them. And I think Liam Finn has been outstanding. Hooley at fullback has done a great job. Kabula and Bednian absolutely fantastic on the edges and really causing some trouble for the Bulls. So some great performance there from Dewsbury Rams as Bulls now play out 40 metres out.
Bradford on the halfway line with George Flanagan, who quickly scooped the ball up at dummy half before being dragged down in a two-man tackle by Sam Day and Jody Sharif. He'll now get to his feet. He'll play the ball towards Matty Staunton. Last tackle, Bradford. 5 metres inside the Dewsbury half. Rowan Milnes will drill that one into touch on the far stand side, and that'll be scrum feed, head and feed to the Rams, and Lee Greenwood's side chasing the game. They're down by 14. Bulls 20, Rams 6. 8 minutes remaining. Damien, 4 players' names for the man of the match, Paul.
Really tough today, to be fair. There's been some great performances. I can't go a day without including in that top 4 for you to vote on Steve Crossley. Absolutely immense today leading up the front. I think the Bulls have certainly won over the front row in terms of the pack in the middle, and Crossley's been the man to do that. As Rams just make a break down the left-hand side. Inside now, tackle.
Dale Morton to Luke Hooley, and Luke Hooley and the Rams. Well, the former Bradford Academy player, he's going to score from 60 metres out. The try's awarded. It's 20 points to 10, and there's a bit of a schmozzle in the Bradford in goal area. I'm not sure what's gone on there, but Ethan Ryan, he was committed towards Dale Morton, and as Ethan Ryan went in to bring down Dale Morton, it was that pass on this main stand side, and Luke Hooley has got the second try of the afternoon for the Rams. This one's not over yet. 20 points to 10. The kick to come from Liam Finn. Damien, apologies, you were saying.
Well, I was saying I can bring a try on. Don't worry about that. We'll see how we go here as the Dewsbury Rams line the kick up. I say Crossley certainly one of the 4. Dalton Grant must be included. A fantastic performance given his starting role. 2 great tries, and he's been very solid in all other areas of the game, doing his job very well. Jake Webster, absolutely immense today. He's been everywhere. He's made great yards defensively, been very solid, a huge impact in the game. And as I said earlier, Elliot Minchella, a little bit awkward for him today, moving early out into the centres from injury, but he's been exceptional and his class has shone through. So Jake Webster, Dalton Grant, Steve Crossley, Elliot Minchella. There's the 4, Mick.
The poll's going up on social media. Get ready to vote. So, Liam Finn, quick haste. His conversion attempt 5 metres in from this main stand side means we've got an 8-point game with 6 minutes remaining here at Odsal Stadium on Pulse 2. So Steve Crossley, he's replaced by Callum Busting. The final interchange for John Keir and the Bulls this afternoon. So the Rams, what have they got left? 6 minutes, 10 seconds remain. They're down by 8. Are we about to see a miraculous comeback for the ages here at Odsal Stadium? Sam Day, Anakin brought down there. Kirk in defence with Flanagan. Day to Finn. Finn to Kibula. Kibula's brought down by Lillian Farrell in a 2-man tackle. Quick hands on this main stand side. Day to Hooley, and that's the last tackle for the Rams. There's 5.5 minutes remaining. Finn off the bootlaces to Knowles. Knowles will kick under pressure from Staunton. Ethan Ryan, 2-hand catch finish almost over the forehead, and that now is going to see the Bulls run a good minute off the clock with 5 minutes remaining, and it's certainly looking like back-to-back home wins in the Betfred Championship and 3 wins on the bounce for John Keir's side ahead of that Challenge Cup date next Sunday. Featherstone Rovers, who the Bulls beat 17 points to 16 in round 1, the visitors here. Grant, he'll get to his feet, play the ball on the 3rd. Flanagan to Busting. Busting going down the middle. Callum Busting's brought down in a 3-man tackle, sent to field. Flanagan at dummy half to Lilly. lays it on the plate to Minchella. Minchella with the footwork. Minchella's brought down on the last. 10 metres inside the Dewsbury half. What's the money on? Flanagan might go himself. Well, he's going to kick ahead. He's a one-man band chasing it, and he's kicked it straight down towards Hooley. But once again, Milnes and Kirk, two former Bradford Academy products, along with Matt Staunton, will see Knowles wrapped up 8 metres out from his own try line. 4 minutes remaining on the clock. Literally now or never for the Rams. Finn. Hooley. Hooley can't get past Minchella. Lilly comes in. Stern, strong defence here now from the Bradford Bulls. They know they have this game potentially in the bag. 8-point lead, 2-score lead. Final 4 minutes. Day out of dummy half, finds Finn. Finn no look pass to Knowles. Knowles on that right-hand edge. Goes towards Trout. Trout's wrapped up on the halfway line. Referee John McMullen says that is the last tackle. It goes to Knowles. Knowles, an inventive kick through over the top, taken there by Foggin Johnston. And Foggin Johnston, great positional play. He'll be brought down by Knowles and Anakin on tackle number 1 for the Bradford Bulls. 3.5 minutes remaining. Jake Webster's in back play. What a Herculean effort from Jake Webster this afternoon. Bradford 20, Dewsbury 12. Lilly's in at dummy half as Dalton Grant plays the ball. The ship it on this main stand side towards Farrell. Farrell, the former Featherstone man, he's gone through a mountain of work in defence. Plays the ball 5 shy of halfway. Goes from Lilly at dummy half towards Grant. Lilly giving Flanagan a little bit of a breather. Back it goes now towards Lilly. Lilly's going to look to find touch on this main stand side. Hooley has to race from his centre field position, and Hooley's going to be trapped 15 out from his own line by Lilly and Bustain. And Callum Bustain, he's just laid on in the tackle a little bit too long there. 9-8 the penalty count now, and Liam Finn will carry the Rams up to halfway. It is Batley 20, Widnes 18 at Mount Pleasant. That will be a good pick-me-up for former Bradford head coach Matt Diskin. Here we go. 5 inside the Bradford half. 2.5 minutes remaining. Dewsbury looking to unlock this Bulls defence. Walshaw has it, rolled over on his back. 25 away from the line. It goes to Knowles. Spiral pass to Finn. Finn steps over towards Hooley. Hooley has it. Standing start. Hesitancy there from the former Bradford player, and he's brought down on the Bulls' 40-metre line. Here we go. They're stacked up on this left-hand edge. That's touched Dalton Grant's arm. The referee says knock on. First error from Dewsbury. No, he's not. He's going to ping Dalton Grant, and Dewsbury, they have the ball. 2 minutes remain, the clock stopped. Dewsbury throwing everything, including the kitchen sink at the Bulls here. Barring an absolute miracle or a travesty, the Bulls don't want to concede an 8-point try. We saw one here in 2012 when Jamie Foster kicked Elliot Whitehead in the Bradford in goal area against St Helens. So, 2 minutes remaining. Bradford defending for the lives, and now Jake Webster's been penalised. Dewsbury leading the count. 10-9. The referee stopped the clock, and Dewsbury, they've still got a little bit of time here. Elliot Minchella being called because Steve Crossley's off the field. So Minchella taking over captaincy duties, just being told by John McMullen, any more penalties, someone's going in the bin. 71 seconds remaining here at Odsall. Dewsbury need. So 4,068 in attendance, great crowd, all things considering, and Dewsbury, wow. At last chance, hurrah, Finn to Anakin. Anakin willingly driving it towards the Bradford line. 5 metres out, Sam Dean at dummy half. Goes back to Knowles. Knowles to Kibula. Kibula floats it out to Morton on this main stand side. Morton tries to cut through a gap. Morton towards the line is held up. We've got 40 seconds remaining. It goes to Finn. Crossfield kick. The Rams are in. The Rams are in. No, they're not. It's been knocked forward. That will be the game. The Bulls, they've got a tap on the 20-metre line. Daniel Imbignian just knocking the ball on in the Bradford in goal area. Liam Finn, his last roll of the dice, and with 10 seconds remaining, it will be back-to-back wins at Odsal in the Championship for the Bradford Bulls for the first time this season. Webster's brought down on tackle number 1. Flanagan out of dummy half. He's brought down there by Sam Day. The hooter sounds. Full time here at Odsal Stadium. Bradford Bulls live on Pulse 2. Bradford Bulls 20, Dewsbury Rams 12.